what are some unexpected ways anxiety shows up in kids that
Yeah.
parents might totally miss or maybe even misinterpret?
So you know what's interesting is you're absolutely right. No, but what we're seeing when we think about some of the conditions that our kids are experiencing, they're not starting at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. They've been going on for a while. Okay. And so really, I'm a big fan of going backwards to go forwards. Kiddo that comes in. And, one of the things listed is, hey, they're having poor focus. They're a little bit more anxious, struggle with depression, whatever it is. We go way back in their healthcare journey and in their, really chronological story to understand where this kind of started. And then we kind of spin it up into present day. And what I mean by that is, in our intake, we actually go into, hey, tell me a little bit about what pregnancy was like when you were pregnant with your son or daughter. Tell me a little bit about, that birth process. A lot of times mom will be like, oh, pregnancy was very stressful. I was very anxious myself because we were struggling to get pregnant, or, my husband left, or, you name the story, but there was some type of event that mom had a little bit of anxiety. And we know, and science knows, and research knows, and most people know that if mom is experiencing whatever stress, anger, sadness, that is easily transferred through that umbilical cord, which is more than just blood, oxygen, nutrients. It's also emotional connection. It's neurons. It's neurology that's going there as well, and feelings. And so now, okay, we have kind of the stage, if you will, that has been set. And then a lot of times in this country, we have a lot of birth interventions, right? So these interventions are now starting to be shown to really dysregulate a brand new healthy nervous system. And so we're seeing these kids, get pulled and yanked and all these things from the womb. And we've disrupted, again, that vagal tone, which sits right on that brain stem, right? So tucked, pulled, twisted, cleared shoulders, whatever we have to do. And now we're starting to see, okay, well, after birth, tell me a little bit about, the first couple of weeks to months of life. They weren't sleeping at all, or they were, they could hold their head up when they were like 2 weeks old. And in my head, it's like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
I have to burst the bubble a little bit.
yeah,
And parents are like, man, my child's going to be the next, Usain Bolt. I'm like, but that's not a good thing that they're so developed and that their
yeah.
muscle tone is so tight that they're able to hold their head up. And so now we start getting into, okay, well, tell me about infancy. Tell me about toddlerhood. Tell me about, when they started going into grade school. And you start just kind of seeing the dominoes stack against them. You really start seeing, oh man, this child has struggled long before they started coming in here.
Mm,
Because quite honestly, what we talk about is anxiety in an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 year old is no different than
mm,
colic in a 2 week, 3 week, 4 week old. It just manifests differently. The neurology is still the same. You still have dysautonomia, neuromotor or neuromuscular tension. You still have subluxation, right? So the neurology doesn't change. Phases of their life. So what I tell people is anxiety in a 10, 11, 12 year old is no different than that kiddo who, just got home from the hospital today, is not sleeping, not eating, not pooping, still not doing any of the things that they need to be doing. It just changed form, right?